of people have heard about the news that Apo Mechanics village is relocating to Apo Wasa. You've heard about that news, and of course, if you check, channels as at 8th of May 2026, if you check channel station, if you check TVC, I think even ITV, something like that.
Yeah.
They all, carry that news. So just a backstory. So the FCT minister on the 8th of May went to Apo Wasa to inspect the work going on there, and then of course he authorized the contractors to extend the O6 road. I mean, the video of that news will be in the description of this video. And whilst a lot of people heard the news about that Apo Mechanic relocating to Wasa, you know that there's something, intelligent buyers or smart buyers had. You know what they had?
Of course. They had
opportunities.
Because, of course, in real estate, development, that development, it changes every single thing.
Everything.
And you know one thing again, most people think that land just appreciates randomly, that you just wake up one day and then it goes from 1 billion to 2 trillion. No, it doesn't just happen.
Exactly. Land rises, the value of land rises according to infrastructure. So there's infrastructure in a place, there is business, development in an environment, people are migrating to a place, or economic activities happening, in that area. And so what you start seeing is appreciation in, once there's business, people and everything, demand of the place increases, and naturally
always
the value of the place appreciates. And that is the conversation we're going to be having today. We're going to be looking at how the Apo Mechanics relocation will turn cheap lands in Wasa into premium property. As a matter of fact, in Wasa, in Apo Wasa, in Apo Gude, Apo Waru, and the environment, especially Wasa.
Exactly. To start off this conversation, we need to bring your attention to something. The relocation is bigger than just the mechanic moving.
Exactly.
It's way bigger than that. Most people think it's okay, the mechanic has moved, the mechanics are moving from one place to another place. It's bigger than that. While we're preparing for this, after we had that conversation, I was thinking about something. It's just like saying, okay, a normal location, a normal place, or let me use a school, a tertiary institution right now. You just suddenly hear that the governor's son left a particular school or is moving from a particular school to another school, no matter what that school is. That's what he went to. Everybody wondering, why did that child move
Go
there?
to that school.
And no matter how you want to look at it, the value of that school just goes boom.
Straight up.
More people want to go there. And it's what happens to something like this. Now, because of the mechanic that's moving from where it is currently in the Apo Road, from the Etlin Road, moving to Wasa, what is happening is not just the movement of the mechanic. An economy is literally moving. We're talking about, now let's calm down, let's think about it, let's look at the things that are actually moving. We're talking about families moving because from what I found out as well, many of the mechanics here are from the Igbo tribe in Nigeria.
Exactly.
And Igbo mechanics do not like to stay far from their mechanic. They are walked up
from their shade.
Right? So they like to stay close to their shade. Now, mechanics, families are moving, right? And then for families to move, they're going to be thinking of stores are moving as well. Stores are moving. Transportation is growing towards that area. Very soon, transport systems that would easily commute people from the other part to that part, they're moving there as well.
Exactly.
These are the things that are moving. It's not just the mechanic itself, and more so, being that Apo Mechanic is the biggest mechanic in all of Abuja.
Telling you.
It's not just the mechanics that are moving. You are moving too. Do you realize that? So this immediately changes the economic potential of that location, because once again, once activity like this enters a location, value starts following
immediately. Yeah, another thing to look at in this whole thing, in the whole Apo Mechanics relocation and how this can increase the value of land, is that government attention is the biggest driver of any location.
Exactly.
Once the government has attention in a place, so government, attention changes land value automatically. Watching that news, and again, the news is in the description or in the comment section of this video. Watching that news, you just realize that as long as the minister stood in that place and he was just, right there,
yeah,
you get pointing and saying this place is now the mechanic. And, he mentioned something. He said that in the last 20 years, they've been trying to do it. But right now, that's in this regime that they're going to eventually achieve it. And he has, commissioned the guys, the project guys, the guys doing that 10-lane road, that they should extend the road down to Wasa. What that means is that, in fact, he calls it the informal sector environment. That is the Wasa area where the mechanics will now be. And then he's saying that all the infrastructure they need, that's all the roads, everything should move to that place. See, that announcement alone is already driving a lot of government attention. They now think about it too. So imagine the road, construction heading there, the drainages, the electricity, accessibility, commercial organization, and once infrastructure enters that area, the perceived value goes up immediately. And for me that, of course, I invest in real estate.
Yeah.
I'm not even waiting for the perceived value.
Exactly.
The announcement is already perceived enough for me. Like the announcement is already smelling the value,
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is that, so even if, let's just say if, right, the infrastructure and the movement doesn't even happen immediately. Let's just say.
Yes.
By virtue of the announcement and the fact that he has made that pronouncement, and he has said that, okay, it's already in the works, it's in the pipeline, and he has already commissioned them to work, the value of property in that area increases.
It's as simple as that. You said something now which even makes it bigger than it looks on the news and the paper. Imagine this, if maybe somebody else, I'm looking for a perfect example now. Let's say a father and a son. Good, this is a beautiful analogy now. Let's say a father and a son, or your family. Daddy says, I'm going to do this, or says, I'm going to go and do this, right? And he tells Junior to go and pass the news. They may not necessarily take it serious. When Daddy himself comes and stands in the place and says, this is what we are doing here. Daddy actually went to Wasa by himself to do that. That is the gravity of what's happening. And when such developments like this come to a place, he comes by himself there and he makes the news, definitely demand will follow.
Definitely.
And this is not just luck. Real estate is not luck, especially in a place like Abuja. It is very predictable. The demand is created by things like this, news like this coming out, a location like this. Furthermore, in research, and I've been researching on Wasa and all of that, like you said, this news has been on for over 20 years. It's going to happen, it's going to happen. And whilst I've known about this for a time, because I saw some numbers, okay, this hectares, I had to particularly go to the map to search just on because my Google may lie to me because I've been researching Wasa. I went incognito and searched for Wasa only on Google Maps, and it brought out a selected section. And you are right about what we talked about that side. It was exactly that place that it brought out.
Sense.
It makes us like, okay, makes sense now. Like I said earlier, this means housing is growing towards that area. Shops towards that area. Warehouses, offices, because access has to be created to that area. Like you rightly mentioned, infrastructure. I watched that video again. He said he's going to make available everything down to water. Make water available right there. And for that kind of a thing to be said publicly, it's no longer something that you should just be sitting and be watching.
Exactly.
Because once demand starts increasing, or once demand goes to a place, supply and prices just follow. They just rise. They just rise.
What actually separates, so from everybody that is watching or listening or heard about the news, what will actually separate those that benefit and others is that most times, and for some reason, I really do not really blame people. Most people will look away from this opportunity. Reason being that for most people, they like to see things on ground.
Yes.
They like to see that the place is developed, is developing, before they make any move, right? They wait until the place is developing, infrastructure is on ground. And for every block that is put on a property or on a land, or for every quota that moves in a place, the value of the place appreciates already. I told you about a conversation I was having not too long ago with someone, and he was saying that there's a location near Apo Wasa right there.
Yes.
That a location was given, let's say, today for 13 million, right? For a 1,000 square meters. In less than 3 weeks, it moved to 30 million. In less than 3 weeks. Now, this is not a regular case. It's not always like this. But it's, when announcements are made, when decisions in the inner chambers are made before it comes to the public, some people get that information and then they go acquire property in a place. So that by the time the thing now comes to the public, they have already acquired.
Exactly.
And now they now sell to the people that now come later.
Exactly.
And then those people now still sell to other people. As of today, this is less than, I think 4 or 5 months ago, I talked about that. And as of today, 50 million, 60 million, you will still buy the 1,000 square meter in that same place.
Wow.
Now that is what separates smart, intelligent buyers from others. Smart, intelligent buyers hear this news and moving, because the money you're going to buy, 10 plots right now that, just a few of us that have heard the news, and now that just a few of us that believe in this stuff, the amount you buy 10 plots now will be the amount other people will buy 1 plot.
Exactly.
Say in the next 2 years or 3.
Exactly.
When, infrastructure has come to the place, activity has started there. This literally is how wealth is built in real estate.
There's something you often say. There's something he often says, but I translated it to something else. And he often says, investing in a project early is showing that you have faith and belief in that project.
Yes, that's it.
And what I can go from that is life always rewards you for the faith and belief you put in something early enough. So the returns you get later on is like saying, thank you for believing, thank you for trusting. And with things like this, it doesn't always stay cheap.
Definitely not.
Imagine that from 13 million to 30 million in 3-4 weeks.
I'm telling you.
This is Abuja, and this more so, not just Abuja, this is real estate.
Yes.
History will always repeat itself. I mean, look at everywhere that was once called bush in Abuja. Just look at those places. You always hear that story. That location came out, something was set to go there, and after a time, it started from 5 million.
Exactly.
It just
always
keeps going up. It always happens like that. And the driver is always development, because development entered that area. Boom, it begins to go up.
True.
It begins, once you hear roads improve, once roads go in there, it creates access for other businesses to go in. Estate starts going, developers as well. They all begin to go in that direction. And then appreciation happens. That's the power of, excuse me, please. That's the power of development in real estate. And that's why the smart investors pay attention to things like this, the smart ones. We say smart not just because we want to call it as smart. Smart is actually listening and following. That's why they make the most out of this.
And just like we have started seeing, if you listen to the real estate pulse now in Abuja, you'll be hearing things like Apo Wasa, Apo Waru, Apo Burun, Apo Good Day. You just be hearing all those things. If you listen to the pulse of real estate right now in Abuja, those are the kind of things you'll be hearing. And that should tell you something. The real estate developers, of course, they accelerate acquisition in a location. And most of them, of course, they are business people. We are business people, right? We will not go to a location where we have not heard. Of course, there are a few exceptions, but when you start seeing like almost everybody is heading towards a place, you start hearing Apo this, Apo that, Apo Burun, Apo Waru, Apo Wasa. That's basically what you'll be hearing, especially for, emerging locations.
Places you've not
heard before.
Yes.
That is to tell you that organized estates are beginning to move towards that location, and they are entering there because they have heard that infrastructure is moving there, and them too, they start building proper layout, start doing roads to their estate, bringing security there, because they want to be coming for inspections, so they'll be bringing security, drainages, etc. The point of this is that there is movement towards this location right now. And if you listen to the Pulse of Real Estate, you also realize that the organized real estate developers forum are heading towards this environment. And definitely that signals one thing. That one thing is appreciation. So the lesson here, even as we wrap up, is this. Don't just look at where a place looks like today. Look at what is moving there tomorrow. Exactly. That's just the lesson here, right? I mean, all this plenty talk is just simple like that. One of the ways to make good money, and when I say good money, you can make a lot of money in real estate. One of the ways is simple. Don't look at a place like it is today. Just look at what is heading there tomorrow.
That's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good, strong, a very strong one. Now, as we wrap up, if you're looking for guidance on how to strategically get the best places here in Abuja, especially in this axis called Apo, and that is why we exist. That's why we're giving you all of this information so that you'll be one of those who actually make the most out of it.
Absolutely.
And interestingly, we have something in that axis for you as well. It's located along the Wasa road right now that's actively being constructed. It's an FCD approved estate, and it's just starting off at 7 million naira. It's called Crystal Estate, and it's a beautiful property right there. The smart ones are buying one plot. The ones that don't just want to be smart, that want the money, are going for more than one plot. So you just want to be smart, or you want to make a lot of money. The choice is yours to make. You can reach out to us, and the phone numbers in the description, and we'll help you lock in on plots there that are just going to be right for you. Because it's not just knowing all of this, it's the timing and the positioning that completely changes everything for your investment outcome.
Exactly.
So you know what to do. Call us right now to make the most out of this. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section, or you can call us for free consultation calls, and we'll help you make the most out of your investment right here in Abuja. Any last words?
I mean, that's basically it. Go on and call the numbers right now so we can lock you in on this particular location. So we'll come your way again. Enjoy a fantastic day.
Bye.